Welcome back. This is Kelly Borsheim, painter and sculptor. I hope that you're following this series that I've been working on to show you how I slowly meander my way and go backwards and then go forwards and then go backwards again to create this painting that I'm working on of a colorful landscape. We're going to see right here that I've decided to go back and do what normal painters do and do these color studies to figure out my plan ahead of time. It's a time saver, but my brain doesn't like to do things twice, and I also have the problem that when a piece is almost finished, I see it in my mind's eye as done, and therefore at times it's quite difficult for me to actually finish a piece of work because my brain's already moved on to the next thing I want to learn about. So here I'm using oil pastels. It's a new set that I bought, and I thought I would like them because I thought it would feel like clay, but they're okay, but it's not something that really rocks my world like regular dry pastels do. But it was a tool to use, and I wanted to get something done fast, and I wanted to figure out why I was being stuck and how I lost my way and that sort of thing. I've spoke about that in the I think I've done 2 videos at this point, plus 2 separate critique videos where I self-critique myself. And I hope these are useful to you. But so I drew out the squares, which I explain later in the video, about how I drew a proportionate square or rectangle shape to draw that's similar to my drawing. It's a nice little mathematical trick. And right now I'm just trying to think about tone and light and dark. It doesn't have to look pretty. It's a note for myself, and it needs to function for my brain and only my brain. So this actually gave me a lot more information than I thought it would. It's a tool. So I'm going to start painting now pretty soon, I think. Yeah. Okay, hi. This is Kelly Borsheim. I want to do another self-critique of this painting here. This is acrylic on paper, and I have been painting on it for quite a while now and realize I'm bored. And I don't want it to be just another landscape painting. And I don't have dramatic lighting, which is something that makes me feel something. So it's a struggle for me to try to... I like the picture. I'm sentimental about the Forsythia of Enio, the man in the village that had these flowers here. And I like the little village and all this kind of stuff. But I was bored, so I usually don't know what a problem is, but I can tell when I feel something's not right or I'm not happy. So what I did was something I rarely do. Normal painters will make little compositional sketches, and they'll do a no-tan design so they can figure out what's light, what's dark, what is the composition, what are the shapes going to be, what's the subject, how am I going to do lines that draw your eye where I want them to go, that sort of thing. I don't have the patience to do something more than once. I say that, but of course, there's always steps that are involved. So I decided I'm going to go back, try to figure out on a smaller scale what would make me interested in doing this. So I did these just 2 little studies here. They're not terrific. There's never going to be a masterpiece. They're uglier than most people's drawings, but it gave me some information that'll help me move forward. And then later, if I need to, I'll do it again. So I want to explain something. Here's a little trick that if you have a drawing and you want to put it on a canvas and you need to choose which canvas proportion that you want, instead of having to mathematically do it all with algebra and figure it out, one of the tricks that I really enjoy is, now here, I made pencil marks here along the lines where the frame that this is going to go into are. So I have enough paper going on that I can paint freely and not get miserly as you get toward the edge kind of thing. And then there'll be a mat, so it'll go in about 2 inches on there. But anyway, what I did here was I took the corner of this paper, put it on the corner of these 2 lines, straighten it up here. I can see a little bit, you can't see it from there probably, but here's what you do, is you make a diagonal from the corner of one. This is the outer corner, that's the inner corner, and you put it across. Now my stick here is not long enough for this, but I wanted something lightweight. but I estimate where the diagonal is on this. So in this case, I drew a diagonal parallel, okay? If I had this drawing here and I wanted to know would it fit on this paper in this proportion, if I put the stick here from this corner to this corner of my drawing, you see, I would see that it would land up here. That means that this paper is too fat for that proportion. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing the opposite. So I drew a line here, and then I came over to this corner, and I drew a line here. And then I just decided, I drew a horizontal line here. Now, where if I had put this up here, you see where, I don't know if you can see that on the video, my crisscross. These crisscross lines, they would tell me the other side. So I have a line, this is parallel to this one. Anywhere, if I raise or lower this, anywhere along the line, wherever it hits this diagonal, that's the end of the thing. Okay, so here, the only reason I did two different corners was because I knew I wanted two different squares to play on. And I suppose it's not really important that I have this proportionate to what my original is, but I think it made a lot more sense because my scribbles can kind of give me an idea of how much yellow do I want, how much red, how much green, how much of, you know, all these other things. Okay, so that's a neat little fast trick that you can do to decide whether proportions work between two different things. So here, this is my first scribble. Now, I was sitting at my table here and looking at this and just figuring out, okay, the yellow is more than half, you know, and I just sort of sketched out. You can see how rough and gross this is. Just do-do-do-do-do. I used this set of oil pastels. Okay, I used this set here. Then when I felt like I wasn't getting enough of tonal changes because I was running out of the major colors in this kind of thing, and going, okay, then I decided to use this set of Mungyo, M-U-N-G-V-O, Mungo, and it gave me a lot more tones to work with. So these are regular pastels. That was an oil pastel just because I happen to have a box of that and I've never used them, so I was curious if I would like them. I don't think I do, but maybe I haven't, you know, really worked with them enough. But anyway, I did this batch, and what I had thought about at night while I was laying down to go to sleep was that, okay, purple is kind of the opposite of yellow, and so maybe that's why I was doing that. And also it's winter time, so these in the photo are more of a reddish brown, because, you know, dead trees kind of thing, or trees without leaves. So, but anyway, I thought I was wanting to have a distant color, a muted color, and let this be the star of the show. But in the end, I started thinking, do I really care about reality? Because I'm not making a painting of reality. Otherwise, I would make it look like a photograph, which I could do. If I wanted to spend the time doing that, I could do that. And I don't want to do that. So I decided that I don't need to worry about what season Forsythia blooms in. I don't care what anybody says when it's done. I care about, do I like the painting? Do I feel something with the painting with that? So I gave myself permission to broaden my color spectrum here and work with different things. But you'll notice that in both of these sketches here, you can see I just did the village in sort of a light orange color, which is sort of near stone color, but none of these have really developed, okay? But what I noticed is that I put dark behind the village. I put a little bit darker behind the village. And I put blues here and green and blue there. I started like with the spring colors. What you see here is, squint your eyes, you can see that the purple is darker than the village. But it's not a lot purple. Now here it's really a lot darker. I'm talking about tone, not color. So anyway, these are all scribbles, but of the two, now I could have done a bunch more because there are infinite possibilities with what to do with these shapes if you really want to go all over the place. I want sort of realism and sort of not, so I'm trying to stick with sort of the original idea. the Forsythia remaining yellow. I'm not a yellow person really much. I don't usually like yellow and oranges, but I find myself drifting to it. And it might be because it's winter, because they're happy colors. So I tend toward magentas and blues and purples and the berry colors, stuff like that. But when I did this one, I added this magenta color. I'm not actually sure why, except that here I just felt like I needed more warmth. I didn't like the white that was here because I felt like my eye goes straight to the white. I shouldn't be covering up the drawing when I'm showing you this. Anyway, you can just try these exercises at home. The nice thing is with the pastels is I can just sort of take them on their side and zig, zig, zing, zing, zing. And you know, I don't need to be perfect or anything, but you'll see I added a wee bit touch of a darker magenta with the lighter magenta with just throwing in the white at the last minute and there. Because gradations are a way to make a change that actually keeps you in the same color scheme, and it maybe helps group things together. Because what I've noticed about people that work with the color a lot, you tend to do, even if you're doing the whole rainbow thing, if you want super bright colored of everything, you tend to group the cool colors with the warm colors. Or, because every color can have a warm and a cold version of it, you tend to group yellows with oranges with red, yellow, orange, and red, and then the blues, greens, and purples, okay? I've noticed that kind of stuff, but then you'll see a little kind of surprise where you get a beige kind of, not beige, a lavender or something thrown in with a lighter tone and also a muted color. Because of course when you add white or when you add black to something, it reduces the chroma, the intensity of the color. Thank you, Casey Claude. Anyway, so this is kind of what I'm going to go after here. And you'll notice that I put that blue back in after I put the pink. Well, you don't, no, actually, I did take a video of me doing that. So you'll see I think I put the blue in there afterwards as an afterthought. Because at first I thought, let me just try the magenta with the green. And then later I thought, no, I like the zing of blue. So, but you know, the blue is closer to the magenta thing as far as that goes. So maybe that's why, I don't know. But I'm going to try to do this. And even though that looks like a mess, my brain thinks it looks more fun than this. And so I don't know, we're going to see what happens. But I'm going to start painting now. Leave your comments, your questions, all that kind of stuff in the section for here. And I'm trying to get to 500 followers or subscribers on my YouTube channel. So if you can, subscribe. And if you really like this content, you can also hit the notification bell, and that will tell you when you enter YouTube. It doesn't send you an email or anything, but it'll tell you, Kelly just posted something new, okay? So that would be a cool thing. Like the video if you like it. If you don't, I guess you can put the no, but why should I tell you to do that? So, anyway, I appreciate your help. I appreciate your feedback so that I can make these little art adventures more to what serves you. So, ciao for now, and thanks for your help.